before we ride out. Tap like and tell us where you're watching from. It helps more folks find these tales. Cobb's hat face. The settlement wore late afternoon like a dusty coat. One saloon, one store, a sheriff's office set like a jaw, a few houses holding their breath. Wind hissed along the street and rattled a windmill out by Apache corral. A woman walked in from the flats, slow, deliberate, 23, carved older by miles, dress torn at shoulder and hip, dry blood at the ribs. Hunger had narrowed her, but her spine stayed straight. Niele. She'd avoided settlements since soldiers scattered her people. But turning back meant dying alone. The corral, the windmill, she knew this place from before. A boy had once shared creek berries and bread here. At the gate, Elias Carver looked up from a fence rail, hammer in one hand, bent nail between his teeth. 30 sun tough, a man who drifted too far and talked too little. He'd come here to live quiet. Her voice was low as a drumbeat. Don't you recognize me, cowboy? I'm your childhood love. He spat the nail into his palm, set the board aside, swung the gate open, and nodded to the shaded stoop. Sit. She drank like relief might topple her. He counted the cost and decided anyway. Inside, a small straight room, a narrow bed, beans and cornbread. Eat, he said. While she did, he set a basin and lamp. How far, he asked. From the river, she said. Soldiers came. My people scattered. I kept low. I kept moving. She drew sinew thread, a bone needle, a scrap of cloth. I need to close a wound. Her hand shook on the first stitch. He lifted the lamp. Slow, he said. She finished, wrapped her ribs tight. He steeped willow bark and slid the cup to her. The silence between them wasn't hostile. It was a space where two people decide whether to stand in the same weather. They didn't decide out loud. She took the bed. He slept crooked in the chair. When pain woke her near midnight, he warmed a rag and handed it to her, without a word. By sunup, whispers began. A storekeeper's boy stared and ran. Niele swept slow for the ribs and set beans to simmer. Worked to show she wasn't a burden. Sheriff Burke came at noon, patient eyes, saddle creaking at the gate. You know how folks will take it, he told Elias. Talk brings heat. She's broken no law, Elias said. I asked for food, not war, Niele added. If it's too much, I will leave. You're not leaving, Elias answered. Burke weighed them both, tipped his hat. I'll keep watch. That buys time, not peace. They worked. He dug deeper posts. She held wire steady, though every hammer blow jarred her ribs. That evening she cooked beans, cornmeal, a strip of salt pork into a meal, and set his bowl first. Should I hide when you go to town? She asked. Hiding won't stop talk, he said. Work where folks can see. He returned with flour, salt, a bolt of coarse cotton. She'll need the cloth, he told the storekeeper, planting his stake. Days fell into pattern. Water hauled, blades braced, windmill checked. He spoke of the back quarter, dark soil by the ridge. Could be corn if we lay a break. Stacked brush low, she said. Mesquite and yucca hold sand. 2 mornings later the wind turned brown. They tied cloths over troughs and stuffed damp rags and seams. Dust pressed the house to a lamplit room. They spoke little, but when their eyes met, the truth was plain. Fear, yes, chosen together. Dawn, yard ankle-deep in grit, fence leaning, cattle still standing. It could have taken us, she breathed. It didn't, he said, and something eased. They were clearing drifts when 2 riders came, trail-hard horses, bounty eyes. Looking for an Apache woman, the tall one called. Plenty travel, Elias said. Burke's horse blew under him as he rode up. County paper? He asked, calm as a cold creek. Private business, the rider snapped. Posters out of Prescott. Not worth a button here, Burke said. No warrant, no judge, no ride. Elias could have washed his hands. He didn't. She's under my roof, he said. That makes her my concern. The riders measured the math and turned north, cursing the dust. You're in it now, Burke told him. I know, Elias said. Niele stepped out onto the stoop, without the door at her back. You didn't have to. Yes, he said. I did. Town shifted by degrees. When a boy fell through the rotten well planks, Nearly tied a rope around her waist and went down on Elias's count, hauling the child up with raw palms. The square's noise changed, still wary, less sharp. The storekeeper's wife slid a small sack of coffee across the counter. For thanks. That night, Burke brought papers. Back quarters open. File both names, gives her standing. Saturday, Elias told Neely, we filed together. You put my name to your claim? It's our ground if you choose it, he said, plain as a fence post. After that, they shaped instead of patched. She dried herbs for medicine. He planed the door until it kissed the jamb. Saturday. Ink put weight to what days already knew. 2 names. 1 deed. Stamp. Law. Trouble tried once more. 3 saloon men riding at sundown, bottle swinging, hands near pistols. Paper or not, the scarred one said, folks don't want her playing homesteader. You've had your say, Elias answered. Ride on. That's far enough. Burke called from the elm, revolver low and sure. Draw, and I bury the first hand that twitches. They swallowed courage, spat pride, and left. That night, as Elias cleaned his revolver, Neely laid her hand over his. Not thanks. A mark. I stand where you stand. He left the rifle on its hooks and slept without one eye on the horizon, not because danger was gone, but because he wasn't the only one to meet it. Days steadied. Windbreak held. Corn shouldered up. Beans climbed poles she cut. 2 pairs of boots by the door. Her shawl beside his hat. The house sounded less like echo, more like life. On Sunday, Pastor Green arrived with a folded page. If you want the record to match the life, he said. Burke and the storekeeper's wife signed witness beneath the creaking windmill. Short vowels, neat names, stamped page. No rings, no speeches, just 2 people in a county that said so. The town never turned warm, but it turned fair. The well got a new cover. Loud men found other corners. Bounty riders didn't return. Folks went back to weather, cattle prices, late wagons. One evening, watching cattle drift the fence, Elias said, when you came, I almost didn't open the gate. And yet you did, she said. I won't close it again, he answered. She set her hand in his. Marking water kept on the stoop. Rope tied right. Deed with both names. A windbreak that held. What began as a last choice became a life. The land, once a place for one man's silence, learned the sound of 2 people staying. By high summer, with corn whispering and dusk riding close, there were no questions left. They'd faced the storm, the riders, the town, and each other. They chose to remain. And in the West, that's love. If this story hit the mark, subscribe and share it with someone who loves an honest Western. Saddle up for the next ride. More trail ahead.